This year, we are all looking for the perfect holiday gift, and today, we want to tell you about the Gallery. The Gallery Shop is a curated collection of photographs from around the world. All prints are made from 100% recycled aluminum, giving your wall that gallery finish.
Right now, for the holiday season, the Gallery is exclusively offering our listeners 25% of your next purchase using the code FRIDAY. That's 25% off your next purchase at thegallery.com. That's the GALRY using the code FRIDAY. The Gallery. Create your perfect space.
Ideals like peace, freedom, and justice, they get packed up, but we can all go home. Well, I'm not going home. I'm gonna get on my boat, and I'm going upriver, and I'm going to kick that son of a bitch bison's ass so hard that the next bison wannabe is gonna feel it. Now, who wants to go home, and who wants to go with me?
Welcome to the Rated G for Gamers podcast, episode 247. Before we start the show, we want to thank all of our wonderful fans who have supported us. And if you want to show support for the Rated G Network, you can find us on Patreon at patreon.com/Rated G for Gamers. You can also find us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Rated G for Gamers. And finally, please rate and review us on iTunes and Spotify. We appreciate all the love. And one final note, this is the final days to enter our Cyberpunk 2077 contest. We are giving away one copy of the game for the system of your choice, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, or PC. To enter this contest, you must be following us on YouTube. You must like this video and drop a comment on what you are looking forward to in Cyberpunk in the comment section below. You can enter once per episode up until the launch of this game, which is on the 10th. And finally, this giveaway is open to U.S. residents only. So good luck to all who enter. I'm your host, Dave Rotino, and this is my co-host, Dan, the podcaster formerly known as Classic Robinson.
What's going on, man?
I can tell you this, Dan, and I'm glad you asked what's going on. It is very much winter. Just stepped out of my house yesterday and today, and it was brick outside. I don't know if they still use that term.
I don't think the kids use that term anymore.
No, you don't think the kids say brick anymore?
No.
It was.
They just say it's cold as balls. Okay, I don't know where that comes from though. Balls cold outside. I don't know where balls and cold come from, but it's balls cold outside.
Neither do I. And I say that. I say that it was very cold outside to kind of segue into, because you ended up pipping me to this place, and I'm very happy you did. There's this place called Book Off in the city, and you're like, you got to go to this place.
I told you about it, I think it was on the last episode or 2 episodes ago. I said, it's like a Goodwill, right? But it's clean.
It is very much.
It's like a clean, organized Goodwill, right? Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Specifically for like media, right? It's mostly media. They got action figures.
Well, technically, it's called Book Off, so it's technically for books.
Oh, I didn't see any books. Oh, they must have had books way in the back.
No. Books are upstairs. If you look up, the books are on the second floor.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't mess with that. Come on now.
Yeah, it's called.
I was there
Book
for the
Off
video games.
It was a bookstore that probably turned into an electronic entertainment store because who really could survive off of books? I mean, look at Barnes and Nobles and all the other bookstores. Right. So it's called Book Off because it's a bookstore that sells books secondary.
It's fine. Whatever the name is, even if they had books there, it didn't matter to me. I was looking at their selection, which is pretty good.
Yeah, a lot of stuff. They got a lot of stuff.
They definitely have a lot of stuff. And you warned me about the prices, and man, you were right. And I did happen to pick some stuff up, which I'll mention on the Saturday morning retro show coming up soon. So I did definitely find some good stuff there. Thank you for hipping me to that. That place was pretty good. But yeah, I just wanted to say, like, I found a new place in the city now. Make it part of my route every now and again. Head over there, find some RPGs at a decent price, hopefully. And
listen, I found Lemmings in box for it was like $18, right? And that game's like $100 on Lukey.
Yep.
With the case.
Yep. You caught him slipping.
Caught him slipping. That's what you got to do. I bought like 4 or 5 games the other day. I was there. I'm not going back to the office for the foreseeable future. So
got to keep.
I don't know. Don't know when next time I'm going to be back, but yeah, I went there. I got some games, so it's a good place to go and find. Again, that's not a place that you're going to go. You're going to build your collection in this place, but for every little Sam, if they had Little Samson, they would have it for $1,000. But you'll find
at least
you'll find your PS2, GameCube, OG Xbox era games. Right, you'll find like a little hidden gems that are like, you'll see Lukey has it for $30 and they'll have it for like $12.
Right? I saw their like $3, $5 section, and I was like, okay. Yeah. I was looking through them. I picked up a copy of Crisis, I think, or Crisis 3 or whatever. So I was like, all right, they got some stuff at reasonable prices. So that was all right. But
they have a lot of Japanese imports too. If you're looking for Japanese,
I see that. I did see.
You're looking for the Japanese-centric games. They have it too. Mm-hmm. They don't have a lot of Saturn games, like Japanese Saturn games. If they did, then this store would be perfect.
Mm-hmm. Well, I saw a Secret of Mana or Second and Sensu 2 there, like the Japanese version. I was like, ooh, that's interesting. And it was only $10. I don't know Japanese though, nor do I have a Super Famicom, so I wouldn't be able to play it.
Well, look, I went to GameStop. Mm-hmm. Okay. While you were doing that, I went after work. I went to GameStop.
Yeah.
And I found like Surge 2. I think I picked up Surge like 2 years ago, and I talked about that on the show.
The Ubisoft first-person shooter game. Is that right? Is that what the Surge is?
It is a first-person shooter. I don't know if it's from Ubisoft though, but yeah.
So yeah.
So the second one came out, and the sort of the limited edition is a GameStop exclusive. Mm-hmm. And GameStop had a sticker on it that said $9.99. And I was like, oh, perfect, right? It's the collector's edition, the GameStop exclusive. I definitely picked this up. Mm-hmm. Go to the counter. She's like, yeah, all right. So everything together is going to be $21.96. I was like, wait, what are you talking about? So the sticker price wasn't the price that was in her system. Now, I didn't argue with her. I told her, I pointed it out to her, and she didn't care what the sticker price was. She's like, it's $21.96 in the system. Mm-hmm. So I said, okay, fine, no big deal. There's a line forming behind me. I went online to GameStop.com. I went on their app, actually. And their app, I didn't know, I haven't realized this because I haven't gone to an app in a while. The app is sort of revamped. It looks really nice, actually. Mm-hmm. And you can actually buy something in the app. Before, it would just redirect you to GameStop.com, which is kind of dumb.
Interesting.
It was a cyber only deal where it was $9.99 for the same game.
Okay.
So I definitely picked it up. But, come on. I mean, the sticker price, your sticker, it wasn't the wrong sticker. The sticker had the name of the game on it. $9.99. She could have called the manager and gave it to me for $9.99.
Right. Because they messed up. They put the wrong price on there. That's on them.
Yeah. So I ended up spending what? $2.86 more for shipping, right? Mm-hmm. So definitely out of principle, I didn't argue. I just bought it online. It's fine. It's a cyber deal. What I think happened was, this is what I think happened. I think, you know how it is. The holidays, it's on sale right after Christmas. It goes back up to regular price. The first week of January, it goes back to the sales price. That is now the regular price.
Right.
So I think the $9.99 is what the regular price is going to be. They just put the sticker out too early.
Right. Yeah, I mean, as a former employee of Electronics Boutique back in the day, I remember, and I think either Saturdays or Sundays, you would print out the price sheet and you would go with the little price gun and go around and price them all. And it was such a tedious thing. And sure, you miss a couple You know, you're definitely bound to make a few mistakes. But you know, we ended up fixing them when we found them, and we would honor prices when we made a mistake as long as it wasn't egregious. Right, you know, it wasn't.
Well, this technically was 50% off, right?
I mean, yeah, true. It is. But I mean, $10
off.
It's only $10.
All right, we have an awesome show this week.
Mm-hmm.
All right, coming up, we're going to talk about scalpers getting their orders canceled, and we're gonna sort of recap our predictions for the Game Awards and come up with predictions for announcements at the Game Awards. But let's begin with Metal Gear Solid. I was the franchise. It's cool. I was never really into sort of the espionage or, you know, like the Assassin's Creed. I'm not into sneaking around. Not my type of game.
No.
But I understand its importance, and I understand Kojima's importance to the industry, right?
Right. He birthed the genre.
He did, but he didn't. Right. I don't think he didn't start Metal Gear, right? He came in on a second game. I don't think he started Metal Gear.
I think he did the first one. Yeah, I'm pretty positive he was the director on the first one.
He was. Oh, okay. I didn't think he started. I thought he came in later, and he worked on not Metal Gear 2, but like Metal Gear Solid. But if he worked on the first one, then you're right. He birthed.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Well, you know what? His baby is being turned into a movie. Mm-hmm. It's official. Konami has worked out a deal to bring Metal Gear Solid to the big screen. Oscar Isaac, the guy from Star Wars, right? Like, and Dune, I think, yeah. And Dune, he was in Dune too.
Sure,
sure. He's
up. Machina, great movie.
He's playing He's playing Solid Snake, and I think that's a great choice because he can fit that. He fits that profile, that look, at least in the face, right?
Yeah, there was not to cut you off, but there was a clip from 2019 of him with a bunch of actors or whatever kind of hanging around, and they got to the topic of video game movies, I think, and Oscar Isaac specifically said there needs to be a Metal Gear Solid movie, and then the guy followed up and he's like, well, who would you play? And he's like, Snake, obviously. And now here we are a year later. So
well,
he definitely championed for that role.
Well, they got Jordan Vogt Roberts to direct, right? Mm-hmm. He's in video games too, right? Like, I mean, that's important that we have someone who knows the source material, like who's passionate about video games. Because right now, if you ask me, just want to go on a little mini tangent, if you ask me my top 3 video game movies of all time, Mortal Kombat is still number 1.
Sure.
The original Mortal Kombat.
Sure. That's the king of video game movies.
The king video game movies, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. Tomb Raider 1, the first one, the original one.
Also very good.
Angelina Jolie.
Right.
And I got to say Silent Hill. It's a toss-up. Silent Hill, the first Silent Hill, or the first Resident Evil. Yes.
The first Resident Evil is a fun movie, yeah.
Listen, Silent Hill, the ending sucked. I give you that. But the rest of the movie I thought was pretty good.
I don't know about that. Those like special effects were questionable.
I thought the movie was pretty good. I enjoyed it. I liked it. I can watch it over again. I really liked it.
As much as
I don't even like Silent Hill the video game.
Well, yeah, because it's a horror game and you hate horror games. But I
got lost in that damn fog when that damn fog in the first one, the PS1.
The whole game was fog.
I know. I kept getting lost. I didn't know where I was going.
Oh. As much as I hate the movie, as bad as the movie is, I love the movie, but it's terrible. House of the Dead.
House of the Dead. Yeah, that's right.
House of the Dead is they actually took video game footage and spliced it into the game, right? And they have the zombies come up and like slash the screen. It's hilarious.
No. So the Doom movie with The Rock, right? Not his finest hour, right? The movie was terrible. I like the part like towards the end. They went into first person mode and he was just going around shooting. I was like, oh, it's Doom. It's Doom.
You got to do that. I mean, you got to do that.
Yeah, that movie was terrible though.
But fun. It's a fun movie.
But fun. Well, you know what? The Rock can always say he was in a video game movie.
I know. He's been in 2 if you count the Rampage.
He's been in 2. I do count the Rampage. Wait, wasn't that what was the movie where like San Francisco was like under like attack by the earthquake, and it's like going under?
Like 2012? Is that the one?
I don't think it was 2012. No. I could have sworn that was based on a video game too, right?
Maybe.
I don't know. I could be bugging. It was. He went to go save his. Rock has to go save somebody. He has to go save his family, and like San Francisco got hit with an earthquake, and they were going like underwater.
Right. Oh, was it San Andreas?
San Andreas.
Yeah, not based on a video game.
That's not a video game. Okay.
No,
You know what?
It's Grand Theft Auto line. Yeah, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Sure, yeah.
There we go. I never watched the movie. I
don't think you're missing anything.
So, but look, I thought this is a good choice. It's a great choice.
100%.
And then they got a sort of as a added bonus, they got Derek Connolly to write the script. Now, if you don't know who Derek Connolly is, because I definitely didn't, I had to look him up. The man wrote Pokemon Detective Pikachu.
Oh,
he wrote the 3 movies in the Jurassic World sort of franchise. He wrote all 3 movies, and he wrote Kong Skull Island, which Jordan Vogt Roberts directed.
Was the director of? There you go.
And Jordan Vogt Roberts is a passionate video gamer, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was in Death Stranding as the film director.
Oh, no way.
And he directed 3 video game commercials like Destiny 2, PUBG, and Avengers.
Mm-hmm.
So, he's apparently reading up on him. He's a passionate video game guy. So he's a gamer,
right.
And this could be good if they take a more serious note.
I think they have to. Yeah.
Don't try to do everything in the video game, right? Just focus on one thing from the start, and if that works, then you can progress on to do. You could build out the universe in other movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think it could be good. So
well,
I'm kind of looking forward to it.
I think they'd have to split. I think they'd have to split the first Metal Gear Solid into 2 movies, because there's a lot in there to do. Like I wouldn't know what to cut, because everything's given like it's due, and you spend a lot of time doing it, and then you go up and you fight this guy, and you fight this guy, and there's this exposition, and it's all relatively important in the game. So maybe they do like a 2-parter, cut it off at the Sniper Wolf battle or something.
Don't make it a 2-parter. Make it a single movie, right? Mm-hmm. That leaves some room for a sequel. Right, I mean, Batman Begins.
Make it feel like its own thing without saying
Batman
wait till part 2.
Batman Begins is a perfect example of that, right? Mm-hmm. Like when Batman Begins, like Joker is the famous Batman villain, right? But he wasn't in it. They made it sort of an origin story. We got to see Bruce Wayne and how he became Batman, right? We got to see how bad Gotham was, and Ra's al Ghul was the main bad guy. And at the end, and at the end of the movie, you see the card of the Joker, right? Like his job's not done. There's another villain out there. Mm-hmm. So they could have ended it right there, and it would have been great. The movie itself was great, but they left room for a sequel, and I think that's what they need to do here.
Well, sure. The difference is how do you tie it up nicely, and then have room for part 2?
Start small. Start small.
Yeah.
Start small. Keep it small, and you can go big in the second movie.
Sure.
Once people who aren't gamers actually like the movie and like the story for what it is.
Right. When they vote with their wallets, and hopefully see it in the theaters. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, who knows now? I mean, I wasn't going to really talk about it. It was up to be topic of the show, one of the topics of the show. But you heard about WB, right? Like all of their movies are slated for 2021. They're going to the theaters, but also will be streaming on HBO Max.
Right.
So
which is insane. Like that is now their new network, right? Disney has Marvel, and HBO has the WB. They've just got everything on their side, which I think it's a smart pairing. That's not bad.
But it's funny that all the theaters are pissed, right? Like theaters just like they're super pissed. But guess what? Guess who's not going to the movies anytime soon?
That's right.
Me or most people.
That's right.
Most people.
I understand why they're upset, but come on now.
All right, but you know what? They're upset. DC fans are happy. They get to watch it, you know, in the comfort of their own home. I'm definitely going to watch Wonder Woman on HBO Max.
Oh, Wonder Woman 84, yeah.
Yeah, but guess what? Guess why I'm really happy? You want to know why I'm really happy? Because Daredevil is back, baby. That's why I'm happy.
Oh, the property is back.
Marvel has the rights back to Daredevil, right? It's been 2 years since they canceled Daredevil on Netflix. Right. So they officially have the rights back. And next year, I think it's next year, they have the rights back to all the other Luke Cage and Iron Fist and Jessica Jones. They should have all that back at some point in 2021.
I wonder, do they get, you know, because Daredevil had 3 seasons and Luke Cage, I think, had, 1 or 2, and Iron Fist had 1, and then there was the Defenders. Do they get all that like content that they can do whatever they want with, or do they just get the rights back to be able to make new stuff?
I don't know if they get the content, but they definitely get the character. So they could make a new Daredevil movie, TV show, right? If they wanted to.
You wishful bring back thinking, Ben Affleck.
Wishful thinking, you know. Oh, the Daredevil universe.
Yeah, it was Daredevil and Elektra, right? It's a big cinematic universe. Oh, terrible movie.
Listen, wishful thinking. Okay, if you ask me, wishful thinking, I want them to bring back the Daredevil, right? I want all those Netflix series. I want them to bring to Disney Plus. Okay, it would just give added value to Disney Plus, in my view. But I don't think they're going to do that. I think they're going to sort of reboot everybody and make it more lighthearted instead of dark. And
that's kind of part of their jam, right? It's Disney. They have to maintain their brand, I guess, right? So you got to be careful with that. So
they're the ones that they made this deal in the first place. Like they made this, they knew about it. They made the deal. They advertised it. It was a part of the MCU universe, right? Mm-hmm. I think I would love to see it come back, but I just think they're going to change it and make it more lighthearted. And I'm not mad at that at all.
I think you're right. I think you're right.
I just need them to give more value to Disney Plus, because right now I'm not getting as much value. They don't put enough new stuff.
You get the Mandalorian. That's it. Yeah, the Mandalorian. That's it.
I'm paying. I'm not paying for Disney Plus. I'm paying for the Mandalorian. That's what I've been watching.
Listen, WandaVision will come out soon enough, and the Falcon
and the Simpsons, and every Soldier. And every Simpsons episode. That's what I'm paying for.
And every
I'm paying
Simpsons episode, sure. Yeah.
Mandalorian and every Simpsons episode. That's what I'm paying for. So, all right, Dave, this is more up your alley. Did you know you can control your Xbox Series X with your Alexa? You can tell you can tell Alexa to turn on your Xbox Series X and play Doom Eternal, and she will do it.
Yes, I did, Dan. I believe this was available on the last generation, the Xbox One and One X, and S, was it? I guess. I think so. I think it's been around for a little bit because they got rid of the built-in. I say built-in, but it was the little peripheral, the little Kinect camera. I think since they stopped having the Kinect built-in, which was the microphone that you could be like, "Hey Cortana, do this." And it would do it. Oh, thankfully, it's not around anymore. Otherwise, all my stuff would go haywire. So I think that's why they did the Alexa stuff, because now they didn't have it built in anymore, and they're kind of getting away from the Cortana stuff anyway. It's good. I haven't used the integration. I have a more complex and less functional setup, but I am able to turn on my Xbox with Alexa and a Harmony thing.
You just turned it on. You just turned it on. It's now on.
I did just turn the Alexa on, and it's going to.
You keep saying her name.
I don't know what this request is. Yeah,
you keep saying her name. You keep saying her name. You say her name 3 times, she'll just appear to you.
Oh my God! At least I'm not in front of a mirror.
No, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I mean, you could turn on your Xbox and you could play. You could play. I can't even say what's the Bethesda game. You can now play this on Alexa too, right?
Wolfenstein? What?
No. What was that? The RPG is right here. I can't even say.
Oh, Skyrim. Yeah, of course.
There we go. You can play Skyrim with Alexa. You can turn your Xbox on. Now it just makes sense. Everything comes together.
I played a little bit of Skyrim. I died
on the Alexa.
Yeah, but it is an actual game. Yeah.
Well, okay, wait. I've been dying to know. I've been dying to know, and I keep forgetting to ask you.
Yeah.
How the hell do you play Skyrim on your Alexa? Where's the screen? Is it narrating?
Yeah. And she gives you like prompts on like what to do. Yeah.
Oh, so
It's
is it like
a mini
Dungeons and
experience.
Dragons? It's like Dungeons. It's like DoD.
Yeah. Kind of,
Okay,
yeah.
got it,
Yeah.
got it.
It's like a mini experience, yeah. It's kind of funny though, because like I thought it was just a joke, but it is legit a thing, because you can play Skyrim everywhere. coming soon to your microwave.
I just want to play it on my Apple Watch. That's all. I just want to play it on my Apple Watch.
Well, somebody got a side note. Somebody got Doom running on the new Game & Watch.
Oh yeah, I saw that. That's crazy that they did that.
You can play Doom on anything.
Well, you know what? If you wanted to play, you got Doom portably, right, on there, or you could play Doom 2016 on your Switch. And now we finally have Doom Eternal on the Switch on the go. Right? We're not getting the physical edition, but we know it's coming out on my mom's birthday, December 8th.
Hey, happy birthday, Dance Bomb.
Mrs. Classic. Right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah. That's awesome. I hope it has a better launch than the last one did. I know for one they had some audio issues with the Switch version. And it was a huge download, I think, on top of that. There's a lot of stuff that wasn't on the cart, if I remember correctly.
No. So you can you plug the card in. The single player is in the cart. The multiplayer you have to download if you want it. Guess who didn't have a big download because he ain't playing multiplayer. That's me.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't really care.
Which I think is a smart thing to do. I'll get into that a little bit when we talk about the games we're playing. But I know a lot of the newer games are compartmentalizing the different aspects of the game. So single player, multiplayer are different, right? And we now know that every game pretty much has a big download day one, and you can download the parts that you want, and the parts that you don't want, you can just download them later or not download them at all, which I think is kind of good, No,
I think that's good, but they should have had if they're going to come out, just have a physical release. Why did they cut the physical release? Like
that, I don't know.
I
don't know. Yeah. That's a little odd.
Is it because of the Microsoft deal, just to cut ties? Like, let's just get this out and over with, right? Let's not get into manufacturing.
I don't know. Maybe they. Well, here's what I suspect is that they were having so many problems with it that they couldn't gold the discs or whatever, right? They couldn't like mass produce the little I say discs, but the little cartridges, and they needed more time to work on the game. I think maybe that's it, because
what's gonna happen, right? What's gonna happen. I think we're gonna get the stupid shells in the stores, and it's just gonna be a download code.
Oh, of course, it'll be digital download. Yeah.
It would just be a download code.
Because it allows them to it allows them to update the download package up until the launch of the game, and then after that, they can just put out like updates to fix it. I suspect that's what's going on, because they're like, this game is a shit show. We need to make it work. It was supposed to be out a while ago, and they had to push it because of the zombie apocalypse. I suspect that's what's going on.
So, Dave, as we always try to start the show, but epically fail, what have you been playing?
Well, Dan, I'm gonna let you go first, because I got a bone to pick. I got a gamer grief on some stuff, so I want to know what you've been playing first, and then we'll get into my stuff.
So I've been playing Moss on the PSVR. I'm continuing down my PSVR road. I'm trying to play a lot of, just to get the experience while I still have this thing working and dust free.
Right.
I'm trying to just experience all the VR games.
I'm glad you're jumping in on it. Because I know you've been kind of a little bit off put by the amount of setup and wires and the it's a whole process just to get into the game.
Oh, don't get me started. Listen, Moss, really good game.
Right.
It's a really good. Don't get me wrong. It's a really good game. It's the Mortal Kombat to Astrobot Street Fighter, so to speak, in my view. Where Astrobot's like really cartoony and Moss is, textures semi-realistic kind of, right? Less cartoony. Same sort of idea where you're in the world, but you're controlling the character, right? Like that's in front of you. The difference is in Astrobot, at least first two worlds, I didn't beat it. First two worlds, my character's in front of me, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like behind it and it's going forward. The camera's going forward.
Mm-hmm.
Where Moss is more of a side scroller, right? Like it's in front of me, but I'm going, it's going left to right
Right.
instead of.
Okay. So it's still in 3D, but like you're seeing it from a side view.
I'm seeing it from more of a side view for majority, or at least I only played an hour of it, maybe a little less than an hour, because I I can only go at 20 minutes at a time before I get so super sweaty and hot. I got to take the headset off.
Right. Right.
For the majority of the time, it's more of a side view, and then you do get different angles, but it's for the most part more of a side view. Where Astrobot is strictly, you're behind him, right, and it's going straight. And the camera is moving forward as I progress down the level.
Mm-hmm.
Really good game. I just want to say a little, the controller and the camera in Astrobot was 1-to-1, as close as it could be, at least, right?
Mm-hmm.
In Moss, at least, I've tried to reconfigure the camera. I've moved it around. I don't know. Maybe I don't have enough space, or maybe it's too high. I don't know. I've moved the camera a bunch of different times. In Moss, the controller is represented by like this big ball of light, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's not 1-to-1. I keep having to adjust, realign it, because I keep losing the ball. I was like, no, that's not where I'm trying to push the camera. That's not where I'm trying to put the controller. Because there is some, this is the gimmicky part in my view. Like in Astrobot, you can use your head to headbutt stuff, which I think is cool.
Mm-hmm.
In Moss, you need to open doors. You need to put your camera, the ball of light, into the door to illuminate the door and then pull a push.
Okay.
Right. So I think I could do without that. Just keep it to me controlling my character. Right.
Mm-hmm.
The combat I thought was fluent. I liked the combat in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'm not far enough in the game where I get more combat. It's mostly platforming.
Mm-hmm.
I think Astrobot's still a better game than this, to be honest. It gets you right into the story, where the story builds up a little because they have to get you through the tutorial, and it could drag a little. I will say it's nice that they tell the story in book form, where the book, and they have a narrator, and then you have to, sort of put that ball of light into the book and turn the page. Like that's how they get you to do, motion controls.
Okay.
It's okay. It's kind of I can do without that part, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
But I like the story. I can't wear the headset for more than 20, 30 minutes at a time. That's my issue. That's my issue. And it's not because it's nausea. It's not because it's nausea. It is comfortable. It's just like it's so damn hot. It's just hot in here. It's just so hot in here. And it's weird because I know, the summertime is probably,
oh my God.
It's probably, hell because it's hot outside, but you can have the AC on, and you can have a fan on you.
Mm-hmm.
It's wintertime, as you said. It's freezing outside. I got the heat on, right? It's just, it doesn't make sense to have the heat on and have the fan hit me, right?
Mm-hmm.
To have two things contradicting each other, taking up power.
I had that problem with Beat Saber because you get hot because you're moving around.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, yeah. So I get you.
Oh, I also forgot to say at the beginning of the show, excuse my voice if I sound a little raspy. I am getting a little under the weather. And no, I don't have the zombie apocalypse. It's because...
Knock on wood.
It's because I didn't wear a hat outside the other day. Yes, I know that was really irresponsible of me.
Dan, come on.
Didn't wear a hat. Didn't wear a hat.
Come on now.
And I felt it as soon as I got home. I was like, oh, I gotta drink some tea.
I don't think I've ever seen you without a hat.
I know. I do love wearing my hats, but this
a good
particular
look.
point, I didn't have a hat. I didn't have a hat on.
Mm-hmm.
And it was raining too. So
right.
It was the worst thing to do. Go outside in the cold with no hat, and it's raining.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been playing Moss, and my first current gen game played on last gen as Watch Dogs Legion.
Compatibility. Oh, yeah, okay.
Playing Watch Dogs Legion on the Xbox. I got it for the Xbox, so it's the Series X version that is compatible with the Xbox One version.
Mm-hmm.
I got to be honest. Listen, mechanically, it's pretty good game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mechanically, it works fine. London looks great. I've never been to London. It does look great. It looks good. I beat Watch Dogs 1. I've only played maybe an hour, 2 hours most of Watch Dogs 2. I don't even remember. It's been so long. So I can't compare it to Watch Dogs 2 because I didn't play enough of it. Mm-hmm. But coming back from Watch Dogs 3, I mean, the original Watch Dogs, it's okay. The story, I'll be honest, I really just don't care. I really like, in Watch Dogs 1, the story, I can understand the underlying premise of the story. Like, it makes sense. You're out for revenge.
Yeah.
You know, your family was
classic revenge
killed.
tale.
Yeah. There you go. So I understand the premise. Mm-hmm. It just took a while for it to pick up, right, and gain steam.
To get invested.
To get me more emotionally invested. But the overall arc of the story, okay, I got it. Mm-hmm. This is different. This is two rebel hacking factions.
Okay.
Going at it, right? And it's one rebel hacking faction framed another for bombings in London, and you're trying to clear the name of the faction.
Right.
Huh.
Right.
Okay. I'm sure there's some plot twist along the way.
Right.
Because there always is. Mm-hmm. But just the arc of the story, like just the story in a whole, like, that doesn't interest me. And I'm not gonna lie, the setting, I really drive it on the other side of the road because I'm trying not to get pulled over by the police. I'm trying not to alert the police.
They drive on the left side, not the right.
They drive on the left side. So I do like the fact.
I get you.
I do like the fact they have auto driving in this one, so you can set it to auto drive. But I don't think it follows the path that you want it to go when you select a mission.
It's not the most direct route to the location?
Well, I only used it sort of in the beginning of the game, and I put, this is where I needed to go, and that was set as my location, and I put auto drive on, and it was driving me away from where I needed to go. So I needed to figure out how to get to where I needed to go. And the difference is, in the original Watch Dogs, you could see the map, right? You could see where to go. And this one, unless you've been in the area, the map is sort of foggy, so you can't really see the streets and whatever.
Mm-hmm. Well,
which was just
right?
Yeah, it was kind of annoying because I was like, well, how do I get here? Like, I don't know how to get here. And it took a while. I mean, original Watch Dogs, it was easier to sort of set a pathway where it showed you how to get there, right? Mm-hmm. Here, it was, an extra step to get a pathway, which I think is dumb. It should make it as easy as possible for me to get to my selected mission.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that'll become less of an issue once you do the intro missions, right? Once you unlock London proper, I guess. Because you're going to be doing stuff inside London proper, I think, for a while. So, yeah. But, I mean, I that kind of sucks in the beginning. Because if you don't know where to go, it's like, well, maybe I'll go this way. Maybe this is, because there's just, like, a giant gray area. But you see where the icon is, right?
You see what the icon is,
okay.
But you see just a yellow marker in the middle of nothing. But you don't see the roadways. Nothing. Yeah. You see a yellow marker in the middle of nothing. It's just fog.
Okay.
Right? It's like, at least open that part of the map. I have to go there. Open that part of the map.
Right.
So I can see the best route to take to get there. Mm-hmm. Like, that's my beef with it.
Right.
You can select people, right? Like, you can pick up anybody on the street. Well, sounds so sexual. You could pick up anybody on the street.
Well, now you made it weird, Dan.
Oh, well, okay. So you could get potential, like, you can pick anybody and use them in your group, right? But it's not as this ain't the Body Snatchers movie, right? Or the Body Snatchers video game. What you do is you marker a potential person that could be in your group, find out what issues they have in their life. Mm-hmm. It becomes a mission. You beat that mission. That person now is a part of your group, at least in the beginning of the game, at least from what I can see. Maybe it gets easier as you go on throughout the game.
So you do a mission to unlock the mind control ability of that person?
You make it sound so creepy, mind control. You take over that person.
Isn't that what it is? I mean, you're enveloping their body.
The attack of the body snatchers. No, look. The first guy I got was you're like in a pub that's sort of like your headquarters, right? Mm-hmm. That's above some underground, I guess, train station that's turned into the headquarters. Mm-hmm. So the pub is like your HQ, and I was just like screwing around with the controls, and I was like, oh, potential person to recruit.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Didn't know what I needed to do afterwards. I thought it was easy. I thought I could just take him over. No.
Mm-hmm.
I see what issues he has in his life, and it was an issue, and I was like, oh, so I can fix that issue. So I go to the building to unlock that mission. Apparently, he was kidnapped. I don't know how he was kidnapped, even though he was standing right in front of me in the pub. But apparently, he was kidnapped.
Okay.
So I had to rescue him. After I rescued him, he became part of the crew.
Nice.
So then I could just go into the settings and say I want to play as him, and now I can play as him.
Okay.
And they all have different skill sets, right, to help you through the whatever, And I didn't put permadeath on, so when you die, you go to the hospital you don't really die. You get hurt and get sent to the hospital to recoup.
Oh, that's actually kind of interesting. Permadeath. Because
They do have permadeath.
You could go and get new recruits after that person permanently dies, even if they had like the good skill set. You could go and be like, well, now I got to get somebody else. Wow. Okay. I'm intrigued by this. I don't know if I'm going to pick it up just yet because I got a bunch of stuff that I'm playing right now. So
I'm just saying. I think the story hasn't captured me at least yet. I really just don't care. And the setting,
you got to give it some time. You got to give it at least 5 to 10 missions, I think.
And the setting, I think if this was New York, I'd be more inclined to play it, right?
Yeah, that I can get behind too, right? If you're not already enamored with London and that whole setup in England and driving on the left and all the Big Ben, Piccadilly Circus and all that, I could see that not being great. And I'm with you. Like setting is a big part of it. So.
Look, when the Division came out, we really liked, we liked it. We played it. We wanted to play it because it was New York, right? So we were like, oh, it's New York, so we definitely want to play it. A lot of Spider-Man. I tried to find my job. I couldn't because they didn't have Third Avenue in the damn game, but I enjoyed Spider-Man nonetheless. I knew where to go. I knew how to web sling to get where I needed to go because I was familiar with the setting and I didn't need a map. I knew I can take Park Avenue all the way up and I'll be at the Chrysler Building. Right. So setting is key too. And look, for people who are, for our London listeners, if you like this game because of the setting, I can understand it, and it makes perfect sense.
Yeah,
it's probably going to have to take me some time to get into this game. I have other things I want to play. I definitely want to get Call of Duty. I definitely want to get Spider-Man Miles Morales. I definitely want to get Call of Duty. So I don't think I'm coming back to this game, just yet.
Okay.
So what have you been playing?
Well, I have been getting deep into Catherine Full Body, the remake of Catherine for the previous gen consoles now because we have new gen consoles out, but came out on PS4 and Xbox. I'm playing the PS4 Pro version. I played a good amount of the 360 version. I am further than I was in the 360 version. It was pretty quick to get there. It's not a super long game. There's only like 8 or 9 levels, I think. And then the little officials in the middle.
Are you playing it on easy or are you playing it on hard?
I'm playing it on the regular mode. Yeah, I'm not playing it on hard. I'm playing it on easy.
Hard.
No. I'm not playing it on the insane mode. And I think there's even another mode after you beat it that's even harder. No, I'm not going down that road. Because it's hard enough. It's hard enough. I've had to restart stages over and over again.
I mean, if you've played Captain Full Body, then you get the sort of no pun, well, maybe pun intended. The game is hard enough.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. I'm trying to go the good route in it. I'm trying to say the right things, which is interesting because there's like 2 different ways to play, depending on who you want to court, right? There's like the 2.
I went the evil route.
You went straight up evil. You went for Catherine with a C. All right.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, because they added a new spoilers. They added a new Catherine, a Catherine with a Q.
Yes, I saw that.
Which is so weird. But it's great. I started playing Final Fantasy IX because I realized I had Xbox Game Pass for another couple months, so I downloaded Final Fantasy IX and playing that on the Series X. They added a lot of quality of life improvements there. So it feels like the game that I played back in the day. Right? Even though they added a bunch of stuff that wasn't there to begin with. But it's super fun, and all the 3D visuals are nice and crispy. The backgrounds look like a watercolor painting. There's nothing I can do there. You know, it's just, it is what it is because they're like pre-rendered. But it's good. It's good. Also been playing Kratos. I think I talked about it last week or the week before, the indie game where you you build the game world.
Yeah, you really like that game.
It's good. It's a good game, man. I would recommend playing it if you haven't tried it out yet. I
gotta pick that up.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna do a physical for it. I think it's just digital only. Maybe
limited run. Listen, are you listening? Limited run.
100%. They should.
We got a game for you.
Mm-hmm. And then finally, which is also a game that I picked up this week, is the Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War for the Series X. I picked that up, and I have some things to say about it, Dan.
All right. You got a gamer grief, and you really have gamer grief. You were really pissed. You were really pissed at this. Well, I bought this game yesterday, right?
Okay. And I bought it after I went to Book Off, actually. And I went and I picked up Call of Duty. I'm like, all right, I need to play this game. You know, I'm actually kind of hyped for it. I think it's kind of cool. They got Ronald Reagan in it, the likeness of Ronald Reagan, and he looks really good. I gotta say,
Ronald Reagan didn't come back from the dead just to be in this game.
I mean, listen. I know Activision has a lot of money. They don't have that much money. So they couldn't get the actual Ronnie. But yeah, I had a terrible experience because I brought this game home and I threw it in the Series X, and immediately it's like, all right, downloading, and it's a 250 meg download, I think, off the disc, which I thought was odd. Thought it was very weird that it was that small. So it downloaded that. And then, of course, it said, hey, we also have this 113 gig patch that we need to download.
113?
113 gigs, Dan. Yep. It's more than the install of Red Dead from a couple years ago. And I was like, all right, yeah, this is the real installation. So it was that plus 4 content packs, I guess.
Okay.
With the other version I got, which those were super tiny. So I couldn't install it because my hard drive was full. So I was like, all right, now I gotta go and move some stuff. So I did. I moved non-essential stuff, like stuff that didn't have Series X, next-gen texture packs and whatever. So I moved all that stuff over, which took a while because it's not NVMe drives. It's just a regular external USB 3 drive, so it's a little slower. So when that was all done, then I got to download the patch, which took almost an hour. And then I tried to play it. It wouldn't play. Tried to play it again. It wouldn't play. So it would go and it would bring up the little splash screen and it would say Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. I said, okay, cool. And I see the dog tags. Nope. I'm like, all right. I have to reinstall this game from scratch. So I deleted everything. Reinstalled the game overnight because I'm like, it was already way too late. I'm like, I'll go to bed, I'll play it in the morning. Wake up in the morning to play the game. Finally get into the game to play the game, right? And I'm like, all right, I'm in. This is cool. I get to the second part of the first mission, the game crashes. I said, oh, God. I get back into the game. Thankfully, it saved my position at that checkpoint, so we were okay. But, yeah, it's not a great experience overall. And the next-gen game that I get, the whole installation process is going to be an issue again.
So what's your grief with? Is it with Call of Duty Activision, right? Or is it with Microsoft?
It's both. I'm angry at Activision because the game didn't install right the first time. And, that partially was probably attributed to me having to, juggle stuff around and to move stuff from hard drive to hard drive. But if you have space, it should download just fine and it should play just fine. But it got stuck. Didn't give me any error codes or warnings. It just take me right back to the home screen. So that's a bad experience. I tried to look up online and I couldn't necessarily find anything. So I'll just reinstall it again, which took forever. I'm also upset that they didn't download most of the game from the disc, right? It was all in the patch, which is weird. They only downloaded a small amount from the disk, which was really odd. And then I'm also upset with Microsoft because a gig, well, it's actually 830 gigs or whatever, not an actual terabyte. It's just way too small. You can get like 4 games on your damn hard drive before it is I don't know what to do anymore because I don't have any space. So
I mean, listen, it would
terrible.
be helpful. It would be helpful if they had a bigger hard drive, right?
Right.
The system itself would be a little bit more money.
I would be fine with that. I think it needs it.
Well, you'll be fine with that because you are an adult with disposable income, and you're like, I can spend that extra money. But they want to keep it. The system isn't just for hardcore gamers, so they have to keep the price down somehow, some way, so moms and dads can, this could be affordable to buy for, the kids for Christmas.
I get.
I'm not gonna lie. If I was a kid and the system cost $500, which, by the way, we were kids at one point, and there were systems that were $500. Guess who didn't get those systems? We didn't get those systems. I didn't get a Neo Geo system back when we were kids. I didn't get a 3DO. I didn't get a Panasonic 3DO because they were too expensive.
But you know what? They didn't have any hard drives to contend with. That's the problem.
No, I know. I'm just saying, the price-wise, from a price standpoint, I can understand why they don't do it, because they want it to be affordable for parents to get it for, the kids for Christmas, right?
I mean, I get that, but it's just a gig of space is just, it's still not enough, because if developers are going to be like off the charts with their install size, and every game is going to have a download patch, which is going to be like X amount more space on like the hard drive, it's going to be bad. It's going to be bad. I mean, it's already bad. I haven't had the system for a month, and now I'm already out of space.
I know, and look, I agree with you. I do. I wish they had at least 2 terabytes in it, right? Which would be a terabyte, 800 gigs. It wouldn't really be 2 terabytes. We had a similar problem with last gen. It's so weird to say last gen, the Series X. I mean, with the Xbox One X. I'm already confusing the damn name of the Xbox with the Xbox One X and the PS4 Pro, where I had, I can only keep like maybe 6, 7, 8 games right on there.
Right.
And I sort of came up with my own little mantra because it was beat it and delete it, right? That was my mantra.
Well, sure.
I had to, because I couldn't keep more than 6, 7 games on there, or AAA games at least.
Right.
And
the
issue is now, it's a bigger issue now than with last gen, because at least last gen we can have an external hard drive, right? Which I had
play them
already.
Off the external hard drive, yeah. And
I can play them.
Technically, you can get that now for $220. You can get the one Seagate expansion thing on there, which gives you another terabyte, which is good. But that's another 4 to 5 games, and then you're juggling.
And let's just clarify: you could use an existing external hard drive, especially if you're already using it with the Xbox. You don't have to reformat it; it will work on your Series X. The only thing is, Series X games won't run from that, so they won't play it from there. You won't get that fast, quick speed into the game if you're playing it from the external hard drive.
Well, that only works for non-Series X optimized games.
Yes.
Yeah, because they need to be able to pull the assets off super quick. So I can't put Valhalla on there, and I can't put. I technically could play Red Dead. It's unsure because I downloaded the high-res texture packs. So I think that puts it in a situation where that also needs to be on the Series X. So like the games that I could move over and still play, it's a limited subset of them. Like it's I don't know. It's a little hard, but it's going to become like every time we buy a new game, we're going to have to preload the system and say, okay, I'm going to have to get rid of these games to be able to make the install for this game.
You're gonna have to do some spring cleaning every time you get a brand new game. So
right, and if I ever want to pick up a game off the shelf and play it, I'm probably gonna have to reinstall it if it's on.
You're gonna have to wait 2 hours. You're gonna have to wait 2 hours before you play the game.
Yeah, which is unideal. I own the game. I want to be able to put it in and play it. Ugh.
Well, you don't really own the game. You own the disc to download the game.
Right. I own the right to download a download file. Yeah. Jesus. It's terrible.
All right. So why don't we take a break? And when we come back, we'll get into the top gaming news of last week.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, this is Matt Adler, freelance journalist for IGN, and you're listening to Rated G for Gamers podcast.
And we're back. All right, let's get into the top gaming news of last week.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of a, not plentiful news week, right? So we don't really have a leading story, but I do want to talk about scalpers.
Yeah, we talked about them last week. Yeah.
Well, we're going to keep talking about them because they're a problem, baby. I mean, listen, they're the reason why me and you don't have a PS5.
That's exactly right.
So, I mean, there was even a guy on YouTube who had a PS5, didn't even set it up, and he just threw it in his industrial chipper and destroyed it. Oh, right?
It made me cry.
If he paid for it, it is his right to do what he wants with it.
Sure
However,
is,
it's sort of bad optics right now. Do it next year.
I don't think the guy even ever used it because he everything was still in its wrapping with the plastic and the foil and all that. I'm like, oh.
It was sad.
It brought a tear to my eye, and it broke my heart.
It was sad. He could have waited to next year to do that. He didn't have to do that right now. It was just bad optics.
Not at a time that every damn kid across the whole entire world wants a PS5, right? Including us.
Yes.
It's terrible. It's terrible.
But scalpers have been a problem, and they have bots. They conspire together to come and grab up all the systems so no one else can buy them. Buy them freely for market value so they can, raise the price on us.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still willing to pin $600 bucks.
Stop.
$650.
Don't put that out there. You're putting it out there in the ether. Don't do that.
Let me know.
No.
Okay. All right. I had to get it off my chest.
I know you want one. You want one bad. I want one bad.
Don't put it in an industrial chipper. Give it $600. I'll pay $600.
Also that too. Yeah. You could have saved it from death.
Yes, I'll save it from death. I want to save all orphan PS5s. Okay. Mm-hmm. But there was a retailer, a UK retailer. We're going to talk about the UK a lot this episode. Called Very. Never heard of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's because I'm not in the UK.
Nope.
Maybe I can find the store in Watch Dogs Legion.
Oh maybe yeah, you know what? They may have one, or like a knockoff because they couldn't get the actual licensing. Yeah.
It won't be called Very. It'll be called Berry, right? Or something.
Berry with the B. Yeah, right.
Yeah, something like that. There was a scalper ring that tried to buy Xbox 1,000 Xbox Series X's, right?
Mm-hmm.
And their order was canceled. So allegedly canceled.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's crazy. These scalper rings, they'll charge like $29.99 a month to teach each members of the scalping ring how to profit from reselling, right? And it's crazy. Like these people take out loans and they buy up all the product and then try to resell it, and I don't support this at all.
No,
I really don't. I know they're trying to make I know they're trying to make a living, but I don't support this.
Right. The most vocal of these, I think we mentioned their name before, is Crep Chief Notify. Put them on blast because they are very vocal. They are loud on social media, right? They are bragging about all of the consoles they have, right? There's like one picture of some guy's dog, and behind it is just like a pyramid of PlayStation 5s. And I'm like,
and
really?
If he wants to sell any of them for $650, let me know.
Dad, no.
I'm just saying for $650, I'll do it. I give up. I give in.
You see what they're doing? You see what they're doing? They're bringing us to madness. This is.
I'll even pay for shipping.
I'll
even pay for the shipping. I'll pay for the shipping.
Oh my.
All right. I got it out of my system.
But on like a serious note, this is good, right? This means that retailers and businesses are doing their due diligence and checking these orders and making sure that they're legitimate orders.
It's not these retailers; it's this retailer in this one particular instance, right?
Well, right. They are. Let's go ahead and give Very a round of applause. put them up. They did the work. They're like tech teams and whatever. The market, not marketing, but like sales and tech came in and said, okay, all these orders, no, they ain't happening. Here's all the info on it. We can verify that this is a bot and this is a scam ring. Let's go ahead and cancel it.
So I reached out to different gaming stores, like Video Games New York. And I don't know if I mentioned this in the show. If I did, I'm going to be redundant because I'm going to say it again.
Yeah.
So you can't, like Xbox and Sony aren't selling these consoles to small retailers. They're only doing it to major and mid-tier retailers. Right.
Your Best Buys, your Targets, your Veris. Right.
Yeah. So from big to medium, not the small ones, not the little mom and pop game stores or mom and pop shops that may sell stuff like, electronics and stuff. Mm-hmm. So I mean, this is the way it's going to be until there's enough stock for it to be in stores like these small mom and pop shops, right? Mm-hmm. When they have it, then we're in the right track.
Right.
Then you'll be able to get it.
So like next Christmas will be good.
No, I think honestly by spring should be fine.
Yeah.
Maybe before. I mean, we'll probably find it before spring, but it'll be plentiful by spring.
Well, Christmas is the big driver here, right? This is like everyone who doesn't have money. I mean, all like the kids who have parents and whatnot are saying, "Get me a PS5," and that's kind of driving a lot of this and driving a lot of the. Well, I'll pay $800 because I want to make my kid happy, right? And like I get that.
I was actually watching Game Scoop on IGN. Great show. Mm-hmm. Listening. I was actually listening to their podcast. Actually, I wasn't watching it on YouTube. Right. And one of the listeners, one of the viewers, sort of chimed in and said, why do they do it during Christmas? Why don't they do it in the summertime? If they do it in the summertime, it's easier for people to camp outside the store. Obviously, it's harder to do it when it's like 20 degrees outside.
At least in the northern hemisphere, yeah.
Yes. Well, summertime for us kind of would maybe suck if you're in Australia, right?
It'd be wintertime over there.
It'd be wintertime for them. But it won't be as cold as it is here, right? Because it ain't 20 degrees outside snowing.
Right.
But the point was only really the hardcore gamers like us are gonna buy it in the summertime, right? The only reason why it's a pandemic. And hardcore gamers want to be, first adapters, right? And all the regular people want it for the holidays. So that's why it's really hard to get.
Yeah.
If you do the first wave in the summer, you get all the hardcore people out the way. And the hardcore people, mostly like us, have shows, YouTube shows, podcasts, and we promote it. And then the people during the holidays, the regular people who aren't like hardcore gamers, they could buy it then, right? The second wave would be for them. Mm-hmm. So I thought that was a good point.
It's a very good point. Yeah.
I kind of like that. So, all right. $6.55. I'll do it. And shipping.
God damn it.
That's going
to be the name of the episode, $6.55.
Just put it out there. PlayStation for $6.55. I'll take it. Okay. Plus shipping. I'll do shipping. All right, let's stay in the UK. And let's go with this retailer, mid-tier retailer. I don't really know. This is Computer Exchange, right? Called Sex, not with a C, not an S.
CEX. Yep.
You said that this, you've seen this in America. I haven't. At least I don't recall. Maybe I have in the past.
They definitely have sex shops. There is one in Queens. I went to it.
So we have a sexual theme for this episode. Okay.
Unintentional.
This is a sexual episode with a C. Okay?
Yeah.
That's the name of the show. Sexual episode with a C.
So they have a Computer Exchange. The logo is slightly different over here, which is a little weird. But they have one up in Queens. I went to it. It's what you would expect out of a national chain used video game store.
Oh, you know what? Is it like the logo and everything like red? Is everything like it's all red?
Yeah, and it's circular. Yeah, it's like an old.
Yeah, did you go to Astoria? Astoria, Queens?
I think it was up in Astoria.
Okay,
yeah,
I remember. Yeah. I remember. I forgot the name of the place, but yes, I remember that place.
Yeah. So we both have been to the same sex shop.
Yes, we vote not at the same time. Not at the same time.
No, of course not. That'd just be weird.
We never go to the same sex shop at the same time. We go at separate times.
That's
not
exactly
with,
right.
Not with each other. we don't go with each other.
Mm-hmm.
But or the sex shop.
So
the shop, the computer exchange store.
Yeah.
Definitely sells next gen consoles, or current gen. I mean, they're current now, right? So they sell PS5s and Xbox Series X's.
Mm-hmm.
However, in the UK, I would be actually curious to see if the one in Queens actually does this. The UK, they're selling them for 850 quid, which is 815 pounds.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
That's scalper prices. Okay, so they're selling for scalper prices, and they're buying them too. So if you want to make a profit off of them, they will buy it from you for I think, hold on, 690 pounds.
Oh, so they're buying it overpriced, and then they're also selling it at a markup from that in their store. Can they do that? I mean,
at least in the UK, they can do that. They can do it in the UK.
That just
well, you know why? Yes, they can. You know why?
Mm-hmm.
You know why? It's used.
You can sell it at whatever price you want, I guess, right?
It's a used product. They're not buying it from the retailer.
And it's also the suggested retail price, right? $4.99 is the manufacturer suggested the MSRP. So they're saying, hey, we suggest that you sell it at this price because this is what it's worth, and you can't sell it under the MSRP. You can't actually take a loss on the MSRP. I know that. So I guess you can sell it for over that if you want. You say, hey, look, this is what we're selling it for, but you can sell it for more. So I guess you could do that here. But that's terrible. That's terrible.
I know. Let's just say I don't know I don't know off the top of my head what the difference is between the pound and a dollar. I know the pound is worth more. Right. So
a little bit,
but let's just a little
maybe
bit more.
like
But let's just say let's just average it out. Let's just say they're selling it for $850.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and they're buying it for $690. Let's say they're buying it for $7.
Mm-hmm.
They buy it for $7 and sell it for $850.
Mm-hmm.
If anybody's selling it for $7, if you go $50 cheaper, I'll buy it from you cash, straight cash. I'll buy it straight cash. I'm just saying, I'll buy it straight cash.
What is this going to happen at the end of every story?
I just want to say, I'll buy it straight cash.
Putting it out there that he wants a PS5 for $650.
If you do it for $650, I'm in. Straight cash.
God.
You need to open the box. I need to see the box. I don't want to buy a brick for $650. I don't want to buy a toaster for $650. I like toasters, but I don't like toasters at $650.
Oh my God. Oh, what funny side note. I was watching I don't know if it was an Instagram thing or like a Twitter video or whatever, but some dude like straight like wearing like the orange jumpsuit, like just got out of jail, lifting weights 24/7. Comes into a GameStop and tries to sell a PS5. He's like, it's brand new. I don't play video games. I want to sell it. And he went to like two different places. The first place I don't think took it. The second place was like entertained him a little bit. They opened it up and he had a PS4 inside.
Wow.
Trying to go and pawn it off to him, which is probably a non-working PS4 at that. Well, I wouldn't expect him to put a working model.
If you ever get duped, right, and at least you got a PS4. People are buying pictures on eBay for $1,000.
Oh my God, or boxes, yeah. Well, that's not new. That goes back to PlayStation 2. People would put up
that's right.
PS2 box, right? And they didn't read the description. They specifically said, I'm selling a PS2 box. And people just assume, oh, yeah, it's a PS2. Ugh, terrible.
Yes, I don't want to spend $650 for a picture or an oven, all right, or a miniature oven or microwave or anything like that, toaster oven.
Right,
okay?
Right.
Open the box. I need to see it.
Mm-hmm.
I even want you to turn it on.
Right.
And I'll pay $650.
Right. Yeah. Like even if it's sealed, you can reseal a box.
Yes.
Make them open it for you, right? If they want the sale, they will do that. And if they don't open it for you, you walk away in every instance. Yeah. All
right. So let's shift gears to actual video game news.
Well, I mean, come on.
Let's talk about BioWare for a second,
Mm-hmm.
right? It looks like Casey Hudson and Mark Durrell are leaving BioWare. Casey Hudson leaving for the second time. She did leave back in, I think, 2013, 14, and she came back in 2016, and now she's left again. Now, Mark actually worked on Anthem. He was working on Anthem Next.
Ooh. Not the best project to be associated with.
Which is sort of a rework. It's not. They said it's not a sequel, but it's not the same Anthem, so it's like a rework of Anthem for next gen.
Anthem 1.5,
and 1.5, right? And then Dragon Age. You're looking at a new Dragon Age game. Now you remember from earlier shows, I love the Dragon Age Inquisition. Mm-hmm. You wouldn't think that would be a Robinson game, but it is. Right, I liked it. I put hours into that.
Mm-hmm.
This doesn't make me feel good and warm inside that he's leaving, right? And I mean, Casey Hudson was the general manager, and Mark was the executive producer for Dragon Age. Mm-hmm. So this kind of makes me think that they're leaving a sinking ship. I mean, Anthem sucked. Mass Effect Andromeda wasn't good, right?
No.
If they put out more duds like that, if Dragon Age isn't good, or if Anthem Next gets canceled, BioWare may go under. They may shelve BioWare.
Right.
I mean, EA is no stranger to shelving, studios.
Right.
So,
right. Well, they used to be part of Microsoft, and I think they left on a high note. Honestly, like when they were with Microsoft, they put out some killer stuff. They were working on the Star Wars stuff. I think around that time. They had some good stuff in their court. They worked on Jade Empire for the original Xbox, which was great. And then
that's right. I forgot about that.
EA said, no, here's a big sack of money. Come over to us. And they did the Mass Effect series, which was great. Now it's, it's a little sad. It's a little sad because I really like BioWare as a studio. There's definitely management issues across the board. And I think a lot of Anthem was EA's fault. How do you put a massively online, first person shooter out and then also put out Apex Legends like stealth around the same time and then compete them head to head, and then one does well and one doesn't do well. And Anthem wasn't ready yet. It was pushed out way too early, had a ton of issues with the game. Maybe there was some BioWare issues, but EA really kind of pushed it out.
This is what should have happened. Are you ready? I'm gonna tell you what should have happened. Since EA already had a working relationship with Disney, right? Because of Star Wars, they should have said, Anthem, we're gonna shelve the idea of Anthem, take the assets, take the mechanics, and make Iron Man.
Make the Iron Man game. Yeah.
And then if you're playing on PlayStation, you have a VR component, so we don't have to have Iron Man VR, which I tried like 2 weeks ago, and I said it was kind of janky. It was cool. It was cool to be like Iron Man, but it was just like the mechanics was kind of janky.
Right. Anthem, this was the game that Iron Man should have been.
Anthem should have been Iron Man, right? So a story element should have been put in place, and people would have loved it, right?
Sure.
And the characters people would have been familiar with. You have now a reason to be an Iron Man, and we can make it multiplayer because there are different Iron Man suits, right?
There's a ton of them. I think there was like 29 different suits over the lifetime of Tony Stark.
Well, you know what? You can put 29,000. I mean, this is infinite,
exactly.
Right?
You can have all these different combinations. Sure.
That's what should have happened to Anthem, and you could call it Iron Man Anthem, right, or whatever. Whatever. I mean, it makes sense, right? I am Iron Man, right? I am Iron Man Anthem,
right? Right.
So that's what should have happened. But I now am worried about Dragon Age.
Yeah. Yeah, when you have someone leave midstream, it's never a good look. It's never a good look. And now you got to get someone new in there. They may have different ideas, different directions. What happens? Or the game may be so far into the other person's direction that the person that with the original vision isn't there anymore, and now this person has to make it work, right? But it's not their original vision. Right, but they have to go with it. Right, and they may not have it all down on paper. Some of it may be up in their head still, and like here's where we need to take it to. This is the end goal, right? They got the big story beats, the overarching themes and plots and like art design. It's all there, but it's not on paper, right? And even if it is on paper, it's still, how do you translate it properly, right? Somebody has a vision. They're the ones that are taking it to the finish line. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully it turns out well, because if it turns out bad, you're right. I think it may be the swan song for BioWare.
So, all right, let's talk about something that me and you never talk about, and that's Fortnite.
What's that? Oh yeah, that's right. Well, you hate it. You're not a fan of Fortnite.
I don't. No. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't add us. Don't add us. I don't hate Fortnite.
You're not a fan.
I'm just not a fan of Fortnite. Listen.
Yeah, I'm not. You know, it's not your game, and I get that. Like, I played it a handful of times. I enjoy it. I just don't get into it that much.
I have the physical edition, even though you could buy. It's free. But
yeah,
I have the physical.
Fun to have. Yeah.
And I played for, I want to say an hour, but 30 minutes is probably more realistic.
So you played a handful of matches. Yeah.
And, I won some, I lost some, I built something. Don't know how, don't really know the mechanics. I'm sure some 10-year-old hand my ass to me, right?
Oh, yeah. That's always
I gotta tell you, my little cousin, he's only like 13. 12, 13. He's something. Yeah, he's around that age. He's in that realm. He's not, maybe not 13. I don't think he's a teenager yet, but he could be like 12, 11. And he still has the old beta machine Xbox One.
Right.
And every time like I go over to he's like in matches. Like he has the headset on that comes with the Xbox. And he's playing, he's telling people what to do. He's like, hey, go here, go here. I'm like, man, I want to ask if I could be a part of his team, but he'd probably say I'm not good enough. So
yeah, man.
Probably say I'm not skilled enough.
He would tell you to get good.
Yeah, but why are we talking about Fortnite now? Because Fortnite could be the thing that bridges the gap between all consoles, Xbox, PlayStation, and the Switch. Okay, Kratos from Sony just got announced to Fortnite. And it looks awesome, right? And by all accounts, from what I could see, he's not going to be a Sony exclusive. From what I can see, it hasn't been announced if he is, but
interesting.
It looks like you could play him on Xbox. You could play him on the Switch, right?
There you go. And Sony is opening up their doors.
And shortly after that, and before that was announced, I wasn't going to talk about it on the show, but I mean, now that Kratos is officially announced, now we can talk about it. A Master Chief skin was leaked for Fortnite.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
So
that 100% makes sense.
So it's highly rumored that you'll be able to play as Master Chief on Fortnite. And of course, Xbox is not going to lock it to Xbox users. You could probably play Master Chief on your PlayStation or your Nintendo Switch, right? But that's not even the interesting part. We have a leak and an official announcement. But the thing that was actually trending online on Twitter? Metroid Samus in Fortnite. So everybody was talking about something that's probably not even in the works. It's something that everybody wants.
Of course. The bounty hunter's badass. And that's the character. Like, if you wanted a property, Samus would be the one, I think, right? She's got a blaster arm. You could have her have guns, run around. That'd be awesome.
Now, I don't know anything about Fortnite, okay? The only thing I know about Fortnite is that Fortnite means 2 weeks, even though that is not the meaning of this game.
No, we were actually talking about it off camera, because the original game was base building, and you would build up your base, and then you would get attacked, and you'd have to build the fort, and then at night you would do battle. But it turned into this battle royale thing, which is completely different from its original intent. Which is interesting, but yeah.
I don't know anything about Fortnite, but I don't know if Kratos is going to have an AK-47 or grenades.
100%. Yep.
Is he gonna? And if that's the case, that may be the only issue. That may be the only issue with Samus coming in. Nintendo may not want Samus, a beloved property that they're working on. Right? They're working on Metroid Prime 4.
That's right.
We don't know if they want Samus to have realistic guns and grenades and weapons.
Right, because they are semi-realistic in somewhat. I mean, it's got a cartoony art style to it, but they are like machine guns and handguns and rocket launchers.
It was weird to see Shadow with the gun.
Oh, Shadow the Hedgehog?
Shadow the Hedgehog with a gun. Yeah. But they did put Mario with a laser blaster, right? In Mario plus Rabbids. So, I mean, sure. Mario is not a realistic gun, but he does have a shooter.
It's wrapped up in a cutesy bow, though, right? And they spin around, and then stars come out when they die.
And technically, Batman had a gun in those old Batman games.
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
He had like a wrist blaster, right?
Right.
Like
in the NES, I think the NES ones and the Genesis one, maybe.
Yeah. He had a blaster.
It
was Batman Return of the Joker.
Batman Return of the Joker.
Return of the Joker. That he had a blaster.
Right.
So, I can see it happen. I can definitely could see this happening. Bridging the gap, all coming together, baby.
Would we want it to happen? 100%.
Yeah. And you know what else I want to happen?
What's that?
Our last story. I want PAX to be real. I want to go to PAX.
I know.
We've never missed a we went through the beginning of the zombie apocalypse. We did. Yep. We made it. Well, this year, you mean. Yep. Earlier this year.
Mm-hmm.
So PAX revealed that they do have dates for most of the PAX events, right?
Mm-hmm.
So PAX East, which is usually earlier in the year, like in March, April,
right,
or February, like this year, is going to be in June. PAX West, September. Unfortunately, they don't have any information on PAX Australia, and PAX South has been canceled. They're not going to do a PAX South.
Right.
And PAX Unplugged would be sort of the second week of December.
Right. It comes up like now, yeah.
They're all placeholder dates, right? It's not official. They're still trying to wait and see if they, how the zombie apocalypse is going to work.
Right.
In 2021,
right.
But they try to push it out as much as possible. I'm not going to lie. I had mixed feelings because I never want to miss a PAX.
Same.
We haven't missed the PAX since we did the show.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a tradition of ours. All the comments under this post, on this post, were, "This sounds awesome, but they really should just make it a virtual thing."
They were straight up noping. Yeah, straight up noping out. Which is funny because that kind of, on the other hand, everyone's already booked up hotels just in case. Because you can. So that's like the other side of it, right? Fans are saying, I don't know, but then other people are hedging their bets saying, well, if it's going to happen, maybe I'll get a hotel. So I'm also on the fence too. Like, I think it's a wait and see type situation. It depends how quickly they can get the vaccine out, how many vaccines they can get to everybody.
That doesn't mean anything to me. I care about. Well, I mean, it does. It does. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. It does. But I care about the numbers. Like, right now in New York, we have a spike in increased COVID cases, right? Mm-hmm. So I want to see if those numbers go down the further we get into into 2021. If those numbers are going down, I would feel a little bit more confident.
Well, that goes hand in hand with the vaccine, right? Like, if people start taking the vaccine, then they're immune. And then they can go out and like theoretically, they would be immune. Yeah, true.
But then we wouldn't get it because we're not in that age bracket, right? First responders, we get it first.
Right.
People who are high risk, right?
So the elderly, the immunocompromised.
Yeah.
And then, people in their 60s, 50s, and then maybe us.
Not even us. They would go to kids first.
Oh God, right. Right.
They go to elderly, and then kids.
Yeah.
And then people in the middle, we're the last to get it because we're the general population, right? Mm-hmm. So, if we go first, just in a bubble, right? No pun intended, right? Because we're talking about zombie apocalypse, but in the bubble,
right?
Having PAX East in June sounds great. We don't have to worry about. We don't have to worry about it being balls cold like we talked about earlier, right? Because it was cold earlier this year. It was in February, the coldest month. It was the coldest month, right? of the year. So it was cold. We don't have to worry about that. When we had it, I think the first time we went to PAX, or the second time, it was either the first or second time, it was in like mid-April, and it was super warm. It was great. Imagine if it was summertime. It would be even better. The only thing it would suck is if you had a costume on, because you would be sweating like crazy in that costume. If you had that same costume, you'd be sweating. But I would love a June PAX, just in a bubble. With that said, if PAX is in June and let's say numbers are going down and we can travel, I would rather go to PAX West because it's a little further out. We get a couple of more months to see how things are going. Right. And we've always wanted to go and we've never been, right?
Yeah. PAX West is PAX West, the original. It used to be PAX, then it was PAX Prime when they like put East out there, and now it's just PAX West. But it is the biggest, yeah. And
I would love to just go to Seattle.
Sure.
And hit up all their gaming stores.
Oh my God.
That's like the gaming store capital of the world, right? And Japan is right there. You can fly to Japan in like 2 hours? 3 hours? 3 hours.
Something like that. Yeah. Maybe a little longer, but
so Japan
but
is
it's close.
So a lot of Japanese imports. They have a lot of stores with Japanese imports there. So I would spend a lot of money if we were in Seattle. I would probably spend more money on the shipping, ship everything, because I'm not gonna be able to take it with me on the plane. Just like when we went to Portland, I had to ship it to me. I had to ship it to myself. So, all right. That's it for the news. Let's get into Convo of the Week. Let's talk about the Game Awards.
Talked about the nominees last week, I think, or the week before.
I think it was 2 weeks ago. No, 2 weeks ago we talked about it. So let's just recap some of these awards and who we think will win, right? And then we'll get into sort of our predictions on announcements at the Game Awards. Because you can't have a Game Awards without having two things: announcements and a chic Hydro Razor.
I knew you were going to say that.
Mascot.
Come on. Listen, they got to pay the bills, man. They got to pay the bills.
Listen, I'm not hating on it. I'm just making fun of it. I understand you got to pay the bills, but I understand, and I can still make fun of it. All right. Let's get into the game of the year. Let's go big. So, Doom Eternal is up for game of the year. I liked it. I didn't finish it. I know you were really high on it.
Game was amazing. Improved upon the gameplay, the core mechanic, the loop of the 2016 Doom in so many different ways. It's great.
And it came out at sort of the right time, right? At the beginning of the zombie apocalypse, or the beginning of the shutdown, I should say.
Came out the same day that Animal Crossing did.
It came out the same day that Animal Crossing did, which is also up for Game of the Year. I played a hell of a ton of Animal Crossing, especially back in April and May. I fell off on it. I fell off a little bit, but they have a lot of winter themes going on right now, so I definitely want to jump into it. Loved that game. Definitely didn't think I would love that game. Never played an Animal Crossing game before prior to this. So I really did love that game. Again, another game I loved was Final Fantasy VII Remake. I mean, come on. You know how I feel about Final Fantasy. I call it Triple F for a reason. And I think mostly because you make me say it. And,
I don't make you say anything, Dan. You do that on your own.
I won't even say what the first F means, but the other two means Final Fantasy.
You have never been a fan of long RPGs, drawn-out RPGs, especially Japanese RPGs, right? The JRPGs.
But I definitely love the remake.
Well,
I'm very high on this.
Game. They turned it into an action game.
I was high on it, and I was surprised. I beat it before you. Like, I was really high on this game. Another game. Yeah,
it was a great remake.
Another game I was kind of really high on that other people weren't so much, and I think because it leaked a little bit early, and that was The Last of Us Part 2. So I really love this game too. You're gonna hear that I really love this because I really loved a lot of these games, except for Doom Eternal. I liked it; it was okay, but I really loved Final Fantasy, Animal Crossing, and The Last of Us Part 2. I don't care what any you think out there. You can at me, okay? at Rated G if you disagree. But The Last of Us Part 2 definitely deserves to be part of the Game of the Year discussion.
Agreed. 100%. 100%.
I just think my only issue was the length. I think a part of it could have been DLC, just like the first Last of Us.
Yeah.
So, Hades, indie game, actually nominated for Game of the Year. I liked, when I first saw Hades, I think it was at a Microsoft show, like in 2019, I think.
Hades was at the Game Awards. I think
it was at the Game Awards, maybe the Game Awards. And I was like, you know what? I'll give that game a shot. That looks pretty cool. That's a game that I would like. No physical edition, so didn't get a chance to play it because there's no physical edition. If you hear me limited run, if this wins Game of the Year, or you know what, no matter if it wins Game of the Year or not, you got to put out a physical edition next year, right? Because I mean, that's what happened with Celeste, right? A year later, we got the physical from limited run. So I expect the same thing with Hades. It's so popular, it has to get a physical. I'd be surprised if limited run doesn't announce it at some point next year. And a game that surprised me, a game that came out of left field, out of nowhere. It's Sony knocked it out of the park with this one. They have a bona fide hit, a new franchise in their stable of long history of franchises, and that's Ghost of Tsushima. I love this game.
All right.
I love the combat. I love the art style. I love the story. Traversing, the world wasn't tedious, and I'm big on story, and the story definitely was really good. I loved it. So this is actually a harder choice to make in all of these. Doom, I gotta say, I'm just not enamored with Doom. It was, to me, it was more Doom with the hook shot. That's just my opinion. I like Doom.
Yeah.
It didn't capture me like the first one. Hades, didn't play it, so I disqualify it already because I didn't play it. I'm gonna say, as much as I love the Final Fantasy VII remake and The Last of Us Part 2, I'm gonna say there are reasons why, and I'm nitpicking, by the way. Like, this isn't like huge criticisms. These are nitpicks. I have to find something wrong with these games because I love both of these games so much. I'm just gonna nitpick at the length of both, right? And I got to take them down a notch down. So to me, I think it's between Ghost of Tsushima and Animal Crossing, and I would personally give it to Ghost of Tsushima. Yeah,
I mean, it's a tough category across the board. Everything is in contention here. So it's anybody's game. I would say Animal Crossing should win for its importance in 2020, which I've talked at length about why I think that is. It's the perfect pandemic game, but yeah, it's gonna be good to see. I mean, it's gonna be here in a couple of days, right? If you're listening to this, I think it's maybe a day or two away. So that's, we just wanted to recap. I mean, we talked about who the nominees were and who we thought would win and we thought should win about 2 episodes ago. So if you want to hear that, you can definitely listen to that episode. But I just wanted to say, Game of the Year recap. I'm giving it to Ghost of Tsushima. I'm rooting for you. I voted for you. Let's go. But, definitely want to give a thumbs up to everybody who was nominated for Game of the Year, because everybody on that list deserved it. But that's not why we watch the Game Awards. You know that, Dave. That's not why people watch the Game Awards. Not for the awards. For the Chick Hydro Man. We're watching for the Chick Hydro. No. Well, over under, what do you think? Do you think we'll see any scalpers for the PS5 or Xbox actually have commercials on here? Because that's a legit thing. That's a legit thing. Well, they gotta have commercials. They gotta pay the bills, right? So they actually asked Spawnwave from Spawnwave Media if they can put an ad out on his show. So that's very, very bold, brash. It's ballsy, some would say. So I wouldn't put it past them. Jeff Keighley needs advertisers. He is willing to go the distance with the Chick Hydro Man. Jeff Keighley is a man of morals. He would not let scalpers. Crep Chief Notify is not having ads during the Game Awards. It's not happening. It's not happening. You don't think so? You don't think so? I don't think so. I know so. You know how much everyone would boycott the Game Awards. They would. The backlash would be. They would too. Yeah, it'd be a tsunami. No way.
No, I agree. I'm just saying. Well, Jeff Keighley actually tweeted out that Reggie Fils-Aimé will be a presenter, okay, and Stephen A. Smith of ESPN will actually be a presenter.
Interesting. Look at that. Look at that. Crossing lines.
We're games is everywhere, right? Gaming is everywhere. Troy Baker is going to be a presenter. I'm just looking at his Twitter feed right now. The Swedish chef, which is a puppet from Muppet Babies, is going to be a presenter
from the other Muppet Show. Yeah, Chef is fantastic.
Brie Larson, nice. Captain Marvel herself. She's gonna be a presenter. Gal Gadot, the Wonder Woman's gonna be a presenter. Wow. So it looks like the Game Awards. The Game Awards is actually shaping up to be a good virtual show. But we watch because we want to know what game announcements they're gonna have. Right? It's just like E3. They don't usually. I think the biggest thing they've ever announced in their history was last year when they revealed the look of the Xbox Series X.
Yeah, that was
expecting.
That was pretty intense, right? It's like you want to see what the console is, and hey, there's a new Hellblade game that's coming, and here's a teaser for it. Yeah, that was big.
I think that was the biggest announcement ever in Game Awards history.
100%.
So, all right, I'm gonna go first. My predictions are more Nintendo centric, only because Sony. I don't think Sony's gonna have anything. Sony has, just in the past, historically, haven't really did a lot of announcements at the game, like big announcements at the Game Awards themselves, like third parties for the Sony platform, like Godfall. Right? We saw the first PlayStation 5 game. But that's not a Sony first property, right? That's a third party game,
right?
So I'm gonna leave them off. And Xbox, I'll be honest, I think they may show something, but I think they're gonna be, I think they're holding everything for E3 or whatever whatever event they're gonna have in 2021. So I don't think they're going to have a big, Game Awards presence as far as teasers go. That's just my view. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong on both ends. I hope Sony announces the PS Vita 2 at the Game Awards. That'd be great.
Never going to happen, Dan. Never going to happen. So if you don't think Microsoft is going to be presenting anything, what do you think companies are going to be presenting?
I think we're going to be Nintendo heavy because Nintendo's been quiet, right? And a lot of their directs.
It's been a quiet year, yeah.
A lot of their
Sans Animal Crossing. It's been kind of a quiet year for Nintendo.
All of their directs have been broken up, right? Like we're like, this should have been one bigger direct, but obviously they've had a lot of issues, because they're working from home, working remotely. So I think the Game Awards is a perfect place for them to announce certain things, and I just think. We would have already had this time last year. I think we had a direct in November, right, to tell us what's coming up early next year. And they have that Mario 3D World, 3D Land remake being ported to the Switch. That's coming out in February. That's a no-brainer that they'll probably have something for that. But I think they're gonna have Metroid Prime Trilogy announced. We're going to see a trailer. It's going to be announced for 2021, right? First half 2021. Well, before springtime, right? So I think that's going to be like the big thing that we're going to see. I hope we see it early. I hope we see that early. I hope that's like the thing that opens the show. Metroid, we see Samus. With that said, my second prediction is that we're going to see. I know we talked earlier about Fortnite and Samus being in Fortnite, and that may be true. But I think we're going to see a Nintendo character introduced for Fortnite. But I think we're going to see Kirby.
Oh.
Kirby. I think we're going to see Kirby or maybe some other obscure Nintendo character we haven't thought of. But I don't think it will be Samus, to be honest. I would want it to be Samus because I think Samus would fit. But I think
thematically, yes. Yeah.
I think Samus, Link, and Mario are very heavily guarded, very protected. And I don't think they want to have that. And I know what you're saying. You're saying Kirby, you're going to see Kirby with an AK-47? Yeah, Kirby can swallow you and turn into you, right? So it's one of those, he swallows any character.
chibi version of or a little round puffball version of your character. I don't. That's not gonna work on many levels.
Listen, he'll swallow your character and turn into your character, and just the face will be Kirby's face. That's it.
But it's still gonna be Kirby though. It's gonna have the branding of Kirby. Nintendo's not gonna let that fly.
Well, I think we'll see some Nintendo. They will announce a Nintendo character for Fortnite.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely won't be. I don't think it'll be Samus though.
Right.
But with that said, my last prediction.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going out on a limb. I really do, because we haven't heard about this game since the Game Awards 3 years ago, and that is Bayonetta 3. I think we finally get a trailer. It's going to be, I don't know if it's ready for 2021. It better be. But I think we're going to get a trailer for Bayonetta 3. It's going to be at the Game Awards. Bayonetta 3 is going to be at the Game Awards 2020, one way or another. That's what I think.
Mm-hmm.
Reggie Fils-Aimé is going to come on stage with a Bayonetta 3 T-shirt, and
it's been like 3 years. It's been at least 2 years since we got that teaser.
No, it was 3. The Game Awards 2017 is when.
There you go. It's been like 3 years. Come on now, Platinum. What are you doing? Where's your Bayonetta 3?
All right, so Metroid Prime trilogy for the Switch. It's going to be announced.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to get a Nintendo character in Fortnite. And Bayonetta 3 is going to be it's going to be mentioned during the show. I don't know if it's a trailer. Reggie's presenting. He's going to wear a T-shirt. He's going to troll us. Because that's what Reggie does.
All right.
So those are my 3 predictions. What about you? What are you?
Those are some strong picks right there. So I think on that Metroid tip, I think not trilogy, but Metroid Prime 4. We're going to get a teaser for that, because I think we're a year and a half since that, or maybe even 2 years, or 2.5 years since we got that logo reveal that, hey, we're working on it. And then I guess the beginning of last year, was it? Or was it this year that they're like, Retro's coming on board now?
Well, I think Metroid Prime 4 announcement was, I think, E3 2018. Was it?
Yeah, which would be like a year and a half, I guess, since they did that, and then I guess at the beginning of this year.
No. So it was 3. No, it was 3 years ago. So Metroid Prime 4 was E3 2017. Okay, in development. That was 3 years ago, and I think a year ago or 2 years ago, they mentioned that that Retro is going to take over.
Retro is going to come in and so fix the baby. Yeah.
So I just don't think we're going to see anything, because I think it's too early.
I'm just saying teaser. I'm not saying trailer. I'm saying, look, we're going to give you a little bit of, here's like a sizzle reel of what's like coming out.
As a side note, do you think, what is your gut feeling? Do you think, they brought a whole new studio in. It's not like you brought in someone to help. You brought in or not even like you brought in the studio to help. You took it from one studio and gave it to another.
Well, so right. It was a Namco Bandai. It was a Namco Bandai production, I believe. They had some guys from there working on it. Nintendo's like, we can't put this out.
But do you think they're going to use the same build that they were working on, or just start from scratch?
I think they may be going back to the drawing board with a lot of that stuff.
All right.
If they salvage what they can, but you don't bring on a completely different studio unless things are really bad.
Well, speaking
as a software developer, right? You don't switch horses midstream. It's just not what you do.
Well, with that said, if that's the case, then I don't think we're even going to get I don't think we're going to hear about this until 2022.
Well, listen. A teaser is not gameplay. A teaser is just like a little like hype thing. Right?
We're going to see another logo.
No. We'll get some CG of Samus, and we'll get some animation and all that. We'll get some. 3D
You know what?
CG
We can combine our predictions, right?
Uh-huh.
It could be they announce Metroid Prime trilogy, right?
And then at the end they're like, 4, it's still coming.
At the end, Samus will be faced with a big boss, a shadow boss, right? Mm-hmm. And we're not gonna know what it is, and it's gonna be like Metroid Prime 4, right? Like still in development.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that could be a good, that would be a good hype moment for Nintendo to get everybody excited.
Right.
So I like that one. Okay.
Yeah. So on that same Nintendo tip, Breath of the Wild 2 trailer. I think they're going to be like, hey, Breath of the Wild 2 next year. Because
gameplay trailer, not
Oh,
CGI.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know how in depth they're going to go with it, but yeah. I think they'll have some gameplay in the trailer. We do know that they're going to be using the same engine as the previous Breath of the Wild game, so it's not another 4-year cycle for this game. They're not building it from scratch. They're saying, hey, we have this engine, and they said, and we talked about them saying that they want to get at least 2 games out of this engine, which makes sense because it's a beautiful engine. They made a beautiful game out of it. Why not build upon it, make it better, and put a whole new game out, right? Which looks like it's going to be Link and Zelda going on another adventure. So I think it's about time for that. The Game Awards is a great venue for that. And then my final prediction is, you're saying Microsoft's not going to have anything. I think Microsoft's going to have something. I think they need to have something because they got nothing right now in terms of next-gen exclusives, right? I mean, granted, PlayStation has the one game, the Demon Souls remake, right? That's their one next-gen exclusive, PS5 only, can't play it anywhere else type game, right? I think that Microsoft is going to make good on their 20 million studios that they ended up buying up, and they're going to have some game. I know this is a little bit vague prediction, but they're going to have a brand new game and a brand new trailer from Microsoft, exclusive at the Game Awards from one of their 18 plus studios.
So a game that hasn't been announced yet.
Right. I mean, it could, maybe it was a rumor or they're working on this thing, maybe, but there was no official announcement. There's no press materials about any game. It'd be a new game, and here it is at the Game Awards.
Okay. All right. That actually could work.
I think they have to make good on their purchase, right? If for the economic safety of their company, right? They spent I don't know how many billions of dollars to get Bethesda. They paid a lot of money to get all these studios into their fold. And what do they have to show for it, right? They got 1, maybe 2 games out of it so far. Where's the big heavy hitters? I want to see where they're at.
I think it would be a smaller game in scope. Right?
Could be.
I think that's it's not going to be a big. We're not gonna get Halo or a Halo style game or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And just to correct you, I got to correct you on something. Demon Souls is an exclusive. Obviously, Astro's Playroom, that Astrobot game. Right. That's also exclusive to PS5.
Mm-hmm.
And Godfall. It's timed exclusive, but it is an exclusive game that you can only play on a PlayStation. You can't play on a PlayStation 4. You can only play on a PlayStation 5. Right. So technically they have 3 exclusive games right now.
Yeah, which is still not
every Miles Morales, Sackboy, or Crush Gen. So I'm probably going to buy them for the PS4 if I don't get a PS5 before Christmas, because I definitely want to play those games and I want to play it to talk about it. Maybe they'll make the game of the year. Talk. Who knows? So, just wanted to correct that. That's all.
Yeah, no, fair enough. The PlayStation fanboy has got to get his facts right. I understand.
I'm looking behind me because I don't know who you're talking to, but I just want to make sure that we get facts out there.
Equal representation.
Yes, that's all.
Representation.
Listen. If it was Xbox, I would have corrected you and told you. That this
maybe you would have.
Exclusive.
Maybe you would have, or maybe you would have thrown more PS5 sales numbers at me.
I'm just saying, it's a healthy console market out there, even with scalpers. It's funny. There's 2.5-3 million PS5 sold, and there's 1.5 Xbox Series X's sold. Mm-hmm. So it's a healthy game market out there. Just saying.
Yeah. Well, I think on that note, we're gonna end episode 247. That was a fantastic show. We had a great time doing it, and we appreciate you guys listening to the show and doing all the good stuff that you do and sticking with us and commenting and liking and doing all that good stuff. So If you want to interact with us, and we know that you guys do, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Patreon, and YouTube at Rated G for Gamers. Do not forget, it is the final days of our Cyberpunk 2077 giveaway. I believe the game comes out on the same day as the Game Awards, so exciting times. We are giving away one copy on the system of your choice, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, or PC. To enter this contest, you must be following us on YouTube. You must like this video and drop a comment on what you are looking forward to in Cyberpunk in the comments section below. You can enter once per episode up until the launch of the game. I believe this is going to be the last episode that you can enter the contest on. And also, this giveaway is open to U.S. residents only. That's a very important point. So good luck to all who enter. And finally, we are part of the Gaming Podcast Alliance. Check out all of the fine podcasts featured on there at gamingpodcastalliance.com if you're looking for more gaming goodness. So, please listen, like, rate, review, and subscribe. And as always,
keep gaming.